Doug Bench, please.
Thank you. Hello again. My name is Doug Bench. I'm a retired judge. I put 311 people in jail for marijuana offenses. And as I told you in Jacksonville, I was wrong. I've been haunted for 30 years, wondering how many of those were using it for medicinal reasons. Because our government suppressed that information for 70 years. I am now an advocate for medical marijuana because 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with a terminal disease that my blessed wife did 4 hours of research on the internet and discovered the benefits of cannabis oil for COPD. We were also blessed because we own a ranch in Colorado and also live here in Florida. But it was a tough decision. I hated marijuana. I hated the use of marijuana and the violation of law. But I had no choice. If I wanted to live, I had to violate Florida law. So we've got to do better, Christian, than we see on the screen. And I just got a few comments that I haven't heard before. Number one, vertical integration is not going to work. You are horribly underestimating the number of people who are going to need medical marijuana in this state. For one reason, my wife and I are going to educate every damn person in this state about it. You've got to allow the free enterprise system to work. You've been given a mandate in a constitutional amendment, Christian, a constitutional amendment. That's a part of the Constitution. This doesn't comply with that at all. Regarding the 90-day wait, something nobody's mentioned in any of the hearings I've been to, which is 3 out of the 5. Human nature, we procrastinate. When you're ill, you put it off. You don't want to hear what the doctor says. And by the time you finally go, damn it, you need it now, not 90 days from now. And I think you should take the word debilitating totally out of it. What I had, COPD, a terminal disease, is not in your list. And it would not be under the Board of Medicine's interpretation of a debilitating disease. I'd be dead if I had to treat under this mandate of Florida law. So the last thing I would just say, Christian, did this change you this week? It did me. Listening to everybody's stories and what they need, you got to give it to them. You can't show decisions based on money and the lobbyists and the 7 nurseries. You got to base your decision on what people need. You got to make this decision from your heart, not your wallet. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
I was wrong. Judge admits jailing people for pot haunts him after cannabis saved his life. After being diagnosed with a terminal disease, a judge who hated marijuana now regrets all those prosecutions as cannabis saved his life. By Matt Agarist, June 29, 2017. Prior to this year, the state of Florida was regarded as one of the worst possible states to be caught in possession of cannabis. According to a 2009 analysis by former NORML director John Getman, no state in this country punished people more severely for minor marijuana offenses than Florida. However, thanks in part to a former Florida judge, all this is gradually changing. By October 3, for the first time in its history, the state will issue IDs to medical marijuana patients. However, according to the former judge, the law doesn't go nearly far enough. Throughout the course of his career as a Florida judge, Doug Bench hated marijuana. He admits to locking up hundreds of people for this plant and did so because he thought it was the right thing to do. While it is too late for the now retired judge to help those whose lives he likely ruined through the persecution of pot, he is taking actions to help countless others now and in the future. When Bench was diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which can result in a slow and painful death, his life was saved after realizing the benefits of cannabis in treating his disease. Now, Bench has made it his life's work to wake people up to the 70 years of lies the US government has told the citizens about marijuana. In a public forum on Florida's medical marijuana implementation earlier this year, Bench presented a powerful speech to note how the law simply does not go far enough to help those who need access to cannabis. Read more. For the first time ever, the federal government is referring to marijuana as medicine. I put 311 people in jail for marijuana offenses and I was wrong, the judge says as he opens up his speech. I've been haunted for 30 years, wondering how many of those people I put in jail were using cannabis for medical reasons because our government suppressed that information for 70 years. Bench then notes that it was his COPD that opened his eyes to the benefits of cannabis. I'm now an advocate for medical marijuana because 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with a terminal disease, he explains, before going on to explain that his wife's 4 hours of research on the internet found the benefits of cannabis oil for COPD. I hated marijuana, I hated the use of marijuana and the violation of the law, Bench explains. But, I had no choice, I had to break the law if I wanted to live. Bench, like so many other people who the Free Thought Project has interviewed and reported on, was forced to become a criminal to save his own life in the land of the free. At this point, Bench then advocates to let free enterprise handle the solution to medical marijuana instead of the slow-turning wheels of the bureaucracy. Instead of a top-down system of the state running everything in regards to a plant that heals people, Bench advocates for a horizontal integration, allowing ease of access at all levels, not just those well-connected lobbyists with state ties. By the time you finally go to the doctor to get medical cannabis, you need it now, not 90 days from now, Bench said before calling out the restrictive nature of the Florida law. Read more. Sheriff threatens lawmaker with violence for supporting medical cannabis legislation. I think you should take the word debilitating totally out of it, said Bench. What I had, COPD, a terminal disease, is not on your list. I'd be dead if I had to treat under this mandate of Florida law. The heroism and humility shown by Doug Bench are inspiring, to say the least. If a tiny fraction of the people within law enforcement and government had half of this man's gumption, the drug war would be over tomorrow and people who can benefit from cannabis would have access immediately. The Free Thought Project salutes you, Judge Doug Bench. Please share this article to show others how change is possible and even the most staunch drug warriors, who hate marijuana, have the ability to change. Please share this article to show others how change is possible and even the most staunch drug warriors, who hate marijuana, have the ability to change.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office Your intelligence division is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done... for life hating so much. Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a let's say actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.